Hey everybody, it's me, Stacy, and this is Molly. Day 12 of training. It was kind of a sloppy, cold, wet day today, and I decided to kind of keep it under the roof line and do some maneuvers, what I like to call come over and step over. So come over is me asking her to bring her hip toward me, and step over is her shifting her hindquarters away. So come over is to come to, step over is to go away. So to introduce the come over, I have this long stick with a ball on the end, and I will give her some nice butt scratches. You know, it's one of her favorite things. So I'll scratch her butt, and then kind of wave it around. And I'm just kind of waiting for her to lean back into the stick and ball before I cluck and reward her. So she hasn't really, she's kind of feeling it out, figuring it out, and I'm waving the wand, and she's looking at it, trying to take it in. She steps back toward it, but I want her to bring and shift her hip toward me just a little bit before I reward her. So I'm just going to bring the stick and ball back, gently tap, scratch, and then step away from her in hopes that that draws her to the stick and ball. And again, I'm just looking for a slight shift. I'm going to follow her hindquarter, kind of staying in line with her hip a little bit. And even if the slightest maneuver is right there, cluck, reward. So now she's like, oh, wait a minute. When I target the ball with my hip and she says, come over, then I get a treat. Well, this is exciting. So I start back again. I'm not actually touching her with the ball and stick right now. I'm maybe like 2 inches off her hindquarters, just kind of waving it, asking her to come over, and waiting, giving it time. Right there is close enough, so I target again. Cluck, reward. And again, she's like, oh, okay. So if I target my hip on the ball, then I get a reward. Okay, I'm back at the same place again, waving the stick a little further off this time. I want her to step over just a little bit further, telling her come over, nice and quiet. She's still trying to figure it out. She steps back, and that's not the answer I'm looking for. I want her to bring her hip over toward me, not back up. So I'm just going to stay in line with where I started. She steps forward, I step forward, staying in line, just waiting for that hip to shift. She shifts away, so I just stay right where I'm at. She's thinking about it, walking ahead. And she's like, okay, if I target my hip to the ball, I get a reward. There we go. I'm looking for progress, not perfection. She's not going to get this right away, you know, and the thing is, I'm not going to be hard on her either. I'm just going to take my time until she figures it out. Again, I'm not here to break this horse. I'm here to train her and let her think and puzzle things out and exercise her mind. She's a smart horse. Look at this. She just figured that out, in 3 or 4 goes. She's so smart. So from here, we just do consistently come over from both sides. Come over. She thinks about it. She brings the hip over until she feels the ball. I'm asking her to go all the way to the ball. Trying to puzzle it out. There. Clock and reward. Good girl. So early on, when working with her on the ground, of course, I have her doing yielding exercises. So come over is an extension of that. Now this is, a little bit more advanced. And where this command comes in handy is when she goes to get hitched, maybe as a team or something like that. You know, instead of using tugs to maneuver her back end through pressure, I can just voice command her to come over, whichever side I need her to come over to. Come over ha, come over G. And she'll step over. So you can see that I'm actually touching her on her rib cage and saying step over. And that's when I want her to move away from my hand. So come over is coming to me, step over is away. So here I put the stick and ball down and I introduce just a hand gesture. Molly, come over. She comes right to my hand like a good girl. Nice big rewards. And again, this is her first day doing this, so she's really catching on quick. Now here's step over. I'm barely even touching her rib cage. and she's stepping off that pressure. Now this comes in handy when we're riding on the saddle and I need her to step off my leg pressure because I like to rein with my legs, not the mouth. So both of these exercises come in really handy when she goes to that more intermediate level of harness work and saddle work. So Molly come over, brings her butt over, and then Molly step over is when she moves off pressure. So both sides. She's a super, super smart girl. Here we go. Come over. She's following me with her hip. Good girl. Lots of praise. Snuggies. She's such a smart horse. And there is step over off my hand pressure. This is where my leg will be when I ask her to step off my leg pressure. The come over maneuver will actually be used for mounting as well. So if I need to mount from a fence or mount from a mounting block, I'll just have her come over, Molly come over, and that way I can mount her more easily. So again, all of these are building blocks to making a successful first ride and first harness and a happy horse.